about everything he knows about muscles and things.
I feel flesh.
That's all right. It'll go, Bob.
Hey, Chuck, don't take a check.
Our next to last act this evening. Hey! I thought they would bring a round of applause.
It's getting too hot.
Is a talented young comic. He's coming to us from the sales force at Edmont. The sales are a jerk anyway, so I was supposed to say that.
I got it.
Okay, please help me introduce a talented young comic who incidentally has gone the last 8.5, going on 9 months without any sex. 9.5 months without any sex. Rick Dolan, ladies and gentlemen. Sounds like somebody I should be talking to.
Can you hear me back there?
No!
So this buddy of mine, he has 3 daughters. All teenagers, never been on a date. They all make a date the same night, first time ever. He's very concerned. You know, how does he meet these guys when they come to the door? So he's sitting downstairs and there's a knock at the door and he goes up. First guy standing there, nice suit, short hair, got a box of roses there. He says, "Hi, my name's Mo. I'm here for Joe. We're going to the show. Is she ready to go?" He said, "Sure, just a minute." Sits back down. He goes, "This isn't too bad." He says, "You know, kids today could be clean cut." Knock at the door, second date. He says, "My name's Freddie. I'm here for Betty. We're going for spaghetti. Is she ready?" He says, "Sure, just a minute." Sits back down, feels real good. Knock at the door, goes up to get it, opens it up. Guy got chocolates, roses, real clean cut. He goes, "Hi, my name's Chuck." This other buddy of mine, he wants a pet. Comes to me, "What kind of pet should I get?" I said, "Get a parrot. Get a talking parrot. They're great. You live by yourself, they'll keep you company." He goes, spends $600 on a talking parrot. 3 days he has it home, the parrot doesn't talk. He gets back to the pet shop. He goes, "Hey, this parrot doesn't talk." Pet shop owner, he says, "Look, don't worry about it." He says, "Sometimes you have to file the beak a little bit. Just file the beak down fine, the parrot will talk." So the guy goes home. A week later, he comes back in. He says, "Hey, I want to buy another parrot." He says, "What happened to your other parrot?" He says, "You filed the beak, doesn't it talk?" He says, "Christ, I don't know. I took it out of the vise. It was dead." Little Coshocton joke for you.
Yeah!
Retired couple from Coshocton. We don't have any here. They're on vacation. They're going out west and driving in their car, and they pull up out in Arizona someplace, and they're pulling for some gas, and the guy's washing the windshield. He says, "Hey, I see from your license plate there, you're from Coshocton, Ohio." He says, "I was there once." And the wife's kind of hard of hearing. And she's going, "What'd he say? What'd he say?" He says, "He wants to know if we're come from Coshocton." "Oh, okay." So the guy says, "I was there one time." He says, "You know, when I was in a service, we took a train going out to the Midwest there." He said, "The train broke down. So what they do, they bust us all down into Coshocton. We went over to Roscoe Village." The guy says, "Hey, pretty nice town, huh?" And the wife's going, "What'd he say? What'd he say? What'd he say?" He wants to know if he'd been to Roscoe, like where the canals are now. "Oh, okay." So the guy's watching. He says, "Hey, your wife's hard of hearing, huh?" He says, "Yeah, she's kind of deaf in that ear." He says, "Well, I want to tell you," he says, "I was there that weekend." He says, "I picked up this babe. I took her up behind a canal there." He says, "We made some love. Worst love making I ever had." The wife's going, "What'd he say? What'd he say?" He said, "Shut up. I think he knows." about 2 weeks ago. My wife's 9 months pregnant. I get on a plane, sit down, sitting there reading a magazine, you know. Here comes this good-looking blonde, big jagoon, sits down beside me, she's crying. I look over, I said, darling, I said, you know, where are you going? She says, oh, I'm flying to Houston. I said, so am I. She says, why are you so upset? She says, I come all the way up here to Columbus to go to see my psychiatrist. I said, oh, wow, you know, what's the problem? She goes, oh, I really don't want to talk about it. And I said, well, you know, sometimes it's better to talk to a stranger than it is to confide in your best friends, because your best friends sometimes throw it up to you. What's your, you know, maybe I can help you out. And she said, well, my shrink told me I'm a nymphomaniac. I said, that's a problem. I said, why are you so upset? She said, that's not the problem. The problem is he told me I can only be satisfied by a Jewish cowboy. I said, wow, that's pretty bad. She said, you seem like a pretty nice guy. What's your name? I said, call me Bronco Goldstein. So we're in a College of Knowledge World Series. You know, when the colleges come up, they put the smartest. They put their smartest academia up against everyone else, and it happens, you won't believe this, but Notre Dame and Grambling are in the finals. Notre Dame and Grambling.
Grambling won.
It's a dead tie. This has gone on for about 45 minutes, and finally the judges say, look, we can't go on any longer. What we're going to do, flip a coin. We're going to put one team in a soundproof booth. We're going to ask a question. It's going to be a scenario. You got to come up, formulate an answer. So as the toss goes, Notre Dame has to go first. Grambling's in the soundproof booth. Notre Dame's sitting out there, and the announcer comes up and he says, here's your scenario. You have to give me this gentleman's name. And you have to formulate it from this set of circumstances. The man's in bed naked, laying on his left side. And in front of him is his wife, laying naked on her left side. What's the man's name? Man, the boys from Notre Dame, they're cranking, they're thinking. The buzzer goes off. Team captain stands up and he says, sir, I'm sorry to inform you that with the information you've given me, there's no way that I could logically deduct what this man's name would be. Therefore, if Grambling comes up with a reasonable choice, we can see. Fine. Grambling comes out, 5 black boys sitting there, men, black people. They lay it out to him, and they're rapping, they're jiving back and forth, and the buzzer goes off, and team captain stands up. He says, I want to let you know, he says, we do know the man's first name. We do know the man's first name. He says, but because we have discussed this between us, we got 2 last names, and we're just going to give you both of them, and you pick which one you want. We either think the man's name is either going to be Willie Taylor or Willie Turner. So for the last joke. We do have some tennis fans here, right? There's a guy jogging down the street, and he's jogging. You know, he could be anyone in here, and he's jogging. He looks down, there's a tennis ball. So he reaches down, he picks it up, and he's jogging with the tennis ball, and he's going, man, I can't jog right, doesn't feel right. So he stuck it down into his shorts. He's jogging, and he stops. And this girl comes up, she goes, my God, what's that? He says, that's a tennis ball. She goes, oh, that got to be painful. I had a tennis elbow once, hurt like a... For all you lady golfers out there, this lady hits a nice shot up over the hillside, and she hears this guy screaming, oh! She jumps on her cart and runs up, and here's this guy for her. She's going, oh my God, oh, it hurts, it hurts. She runs up, she goes, I'm sorry I hit you. She said, can I rub it and make it feel good? He goes, yeah, right. So she starts rubbing his crotch, and he's going, oh, wow. She goes, does it feel better? He says, it feels good down there, but I think my fingers go. Last year.
One more.
One more. happened to be this international joke-telling contest.
You need help?
International
What are you doing in it?
And it happened to be a small country boy from Coshocton, and it happened to be this very well-educated man from New York City, and they're up there, the judges, you know, it's the final joke, they have to tell one joke. And what they said we're going to do, we're going to give you a word, you got to rhyme it. So they put the boy from Coshocton into the soundproof booth, and the guy from New York, they said, okay, you got to make a rhyme with Timbuktu. Timbuktu, he says, no problem. He says, camels in a caravan traveling across the desert sand. They were walking 2 by 2, their destination, Timbuktu. Man, the crowd went crazy. That was great. Fantastic. So the little boy from Coshocton comes out. He says, you got to make a rhyme with Timbuktu. And he says, Timbuk what? He says, Timbuktu. So he said, give me a second.
I got it. You ready?
He said, Tim and I hunting went. We spied 3 maidens in a tent. They were 3 and we were 2, so I bucked 1 and Tim bucked 2.
Okay. That's going to be a hard act to follow, but our last act for the evening. This act is originally from Des Moines, Iowa. It's a 2-party act. Now, I want you folks